So I'm Eli Dollarhide, and I'm a Humanities Research Fellow here at New York University in Abu Dhabi. So this is my first year in the fellowship program. I'm a 2-year fellow, and my research is on the archaeology and prehistory of southeastern Arabia. So my project that I'm working on here at NYUAD is actually an outgrowth of my dissertation research. So I've been working in the archaeology of southeastern Arabia, so that's Oman, northern Oman, and the United Arab Emirates for the past 7 years. And my time period of focus is the Bronze Age, so that's around 2500 BC, so about 4,500 years ago from today. And one of the interesting things about what we know about the prehistory of this region for that time zone is all the fascinating connections between this region and other places in the Middle East, in Mesopotamia, in Iran, in Pakistan, along the Indus River Valley. But what we don't actually know very much about is how sites, settlements, were interacting with one another inside of southeastern Arabia, within Oman and the UAE. And that's really how my project got started, is seeing this sort of gap in the knowledge of the region. The archaeology of the UAE and Oman really took off in sort of the mid-1970s. So that's much, much more recently than most other places in the Middle East, and a lot of other places globally as well. So that means that a lot of really sort of basic knowledge on the prehistory of the region is stuff that we're having to figure out for ourselves as we go. So right now we're working on sort of redefining the chronology actually for the Bronze Age. And that would be done already if you worked in some other regions, but we're working on that now. And yeah, that's also one of the benefits of working here as well, actually, in this region, because so much of what we do has the potential to be groundbreaking or make a real impact as well. So I actually co-direct archaeological research at the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Bat. And Bat's a really good place to look at interaction in a smaller scale in a smaller region because there are so many smaller settlement sites right around it. And so my research, which is both spatial, so looking at how sites, settlements, and tombs are placed on the landscape, and also using ancient artifacts, namely ceramics, to see how these different types of sites are related to each other. And my ceramics research especially is showing that people were producing ceramics in a variety of different places, even on a very small scale, by the close of the Bronze Age, which is actually much earlier than what we initially thought, when maybe there were only 1 or 2 ceramic production centers for all of northern Oman and the UAE. Yeah, I mean, super critical because I work here, right? Which has also been one of the major benefits actually of being at NYUAD. I've actually just come back from the field in Oman running a 2-month excavation, and I'm very fortunate to be able to drive back and forth from here, but also to network with other scholars who are interested in similar things here in Abu Dhabi as well. The region's obviously very important because all my research focus is just right here, is where I'm now living and writing and doing all of it. I haven't had much interaction with students yet, but I'm looking forward to doing that next year in the 2nd year of my fellowship, when I hope to have some teaching opportunities lined up. But I've had some really nice interactions with the other fellows, which has actually been very interesting because my research is about 2,000 years earlier than anyone else's who's working here in the fellowship program. And so it's a lot of fun actually to find commonalities between what we're working on, whether that has to do with material culture or how the texts start to line up with my periods of interest as well. And I've also had some really good interactions actually with people in the Ancient World program here, Fiona Kidd and Phil Mitsis, who've been really beneficial for reading over applications that I've been writing or journal articles and things like that. And the other big benefits then of also being in the fellowship program are being able to host your own workshop, which I'm working on with alongside some of my colleagues who are faculty here at NYUAD in the Ancient World program. And so that's very exciting. And also the opportunity to give a lunchtime lecture here as well. I found that super beneficial in introducing my research to the community. And also it's fantastic to have access to the library here as well, and to be able to request books from New York and through interlibrary loan from books all across the US as well, and have them shipped here in a week or less. There's a few other places in the Middle East where you can have access to those sort of resources. Well, I think it'd start with, there's been 50 years of research, over 50 years of research now, on the prehistory of southeastern Arabia. And it really shows fascinating connections across the Gulf. But what we don't know so much about is what's happening within the bounds of southeastern Arabia. So how different settlements were networked with each other and what the economy looked like. And we can learn a lot more about that by looking at spatial relationships and how people configured both the economic and natural environments around them.